Dear students, this is going to be consecutively third video on Shelley's defense of poetry, because I'm trying to analyze and give you the bullet points of the complete text, the text which is prescribed for your syllabus, that is DJ Enright and Ernest D. Chiquera, and the page number which we are dealing is from 225 to 255. So 25 to 35, 45, 55, almost 30 pages we are going to discuss here. So if you are able to see, and that's what the syllabus, the paper criticism and theory, it's a paper 1, because you have in the next semester you have criticism and theory part 2. So this is criticism and theory part 1, and we are in second semester right now. You are already in second semester right now, and the text which we are going to discuss is Shelley's defense of poesy. It's known as defense of poesy also, defense of poetry also, whatever it is there. So this is the text which is here. You can actually buy the exact text which is prescribed for your syllabus, DJ Enright and Ernest D. Chiquera, and that's already, these things I have already given you. This is background, and this was the original text, which was by Shelley and Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. So let's come, because the points which we have discussed, I have done this second part also. This is the first part of the bullet points, and the second part is here. This also we have covered. Now I am coming to the next part. So from here we are going to start. Okay, so you just read out, and I'm just reading out the text, and then we'll go for the explanation. It will be little technical, little complicated, but if you read it twice and listen it twice, thrice, you will get it. And now let's start. Okay, so the political minds, an observation of regular mode of recurrence of harmony in language of poetic minds, together with its relation to music, produced meter, a certain system of traditional form of harmony and language. Yet it is by no means essential that a poet should accommodate his language to this traditional form, so that the harmony which is its spirit be observed. The practice is indeed convenient and popular, and to be preferred, especially in such composition as includes much action. But every great poet must inevitably innovate upon the example of his predecessors in the exact structure of his peculiar versification. The distinction between poets and prose writers is vulgar error. The distinction between philosopher and poets has been anticipated. Plato was essentially a poet. The truth and splendor of his imagery and the melody of his language are the most intense that it is possible to conceive. He rejected the measure of the epic, dramatic and lyrical form because he sought to kindle a harmony in thoughts divested of shape and action. He forbade to invent any regular plan of rhythm which would include under determinate form. He varied pause of his style. Cicero sought to imitate the cadence of his periods, but with little success. Lord Bacon was a poet, and we have seen this footnote. See the Philum Labyrinthi, an essay on death particularly. His language has a sweet and majestic rhythm which satisfies the sense, no less than almost superhuman wisdom of philosophy, and satisfies the intellects. It is strain which disdained that burst the circumference of the reader's mind, and pours itself forth together with it into the universal element with which it has perpetual sympathy. All the authors of revelation in opinion are not only necessarily poets as they are inventors, not even as their words unveil an permanent analogy of things by image which participate in life of truth, but as their period are harmonious and rhythmical and contains in themselves the elements of verse being the echo of the eternal music. Nor are these supreme poets who have employed traditional form of rhythm on account of the form and action of their subjects, less capable of perceiving and teaching the truth of things than those who have omitted that form. Shakespeare, Dante, Milton, to confine ourselves to modern writers and philosophers of the very loftiest power. A poem is a very image of life. See here, if you see, he's talking about Plato, he's talking about Cicero, he's talking about Dante, and then he's giving the language. So how could we assess that these are the writers who are having a poetic language? So this is what his assessment is there. Anyway, I will summarize these points. So that's why I'm just giving you the simple observation, because he is also giving simple observation. So that's why, and don't expect that every single thing will just explain and every single word will put into your mouth. That is not possible. But you just listen first, and then we can interpret later on. So this is Plato. Here he is saying that his language is much more poetical than he thought of, because Plato is a poet first and foremost, and Cicero's thoughts, and then other Shakespeare, all these have Dante, Shakespeare, Milton, they have rhythmical language, they have poetical language. So that's why this is the argument which is going on. There is this difference between a story of a poem and a story is a catalogue of detached facts which have no other connection than time, place, circumstances, cause and effect. The other is the creation of the action according to the unchangeable form of human nature, and existing in the mind of the creator, which itself is an image of all other minds. The one is partial, applies only to a definite period of time and certain combinations of events which can never again recur. The other is universal and contains with itself the germ of a relation of whether motives or actions have place in the possible varieties of human nature. Time which destroys the beauty and the use of the story, particular facts of poetry which should argue that poetry for every develops new and wonderful applications of eternal truth which it contains. Hence, epitomes have been called the mouth of just history. They eat out the poetry of it. A story of particular fact is a mirror which observes and it distorts that which should be beautiful. Poetry is mirror which makes beautiful that which is distorted. So this is how simple, his language. This is what I'm reading, what is written by Shelley himself, and then we'll go for the interpretation. Okay, so and these are the bullet points. We are summarizing these in the bullet points. So sound and meaning are interconnected. There is a crucial relationship between the sound of the language and the meaning that convey. Poetic language exhibit a deliberate and harmonious recurrence of sound essential for its impact. Limitations of translation. So first of all, in this whole para which I read, it talks about the sound and music. Okay, how the sound and the meaning are incorporated and they are correlated. So if you just speak anything which is musical, it is having a sense also, and which is music, because it is smooth for the mind to accept. Generally harsh and difficult words are difficult for the mind to digest or accept it. Poetic language exhibits a deliberate and harmonious recurrence of sound essential for its impact. Mostly you will find that the lyrics of the music, lyrics of the songs are having more consonant and more vowels and lesser consonants. So the use of vowel make the sound more sweet and more easy to listen and accept the mind and ear. So translation is inherently inadequate because it cannot capture the unique sound and rhythm of the original poem. Translating poetry is like trying to recreate a flower from chemical components, and it loses its essence. So here he is talking about the limitation of the translation. Translation loses the original beauty and rhythm of the language. Meter as as a convention. Meter or use of rhythmic pattern is a convention that enhances the poetic experience. We all know that a poetry is a metrical form of writing. However, it is not a strict requirement. Great poets often innovate and experiment with rhythm. So, what is the difference between the prose and poetry? Poetry is moreover musical and rhythmical. It has always a occurrence, occurrence and reoccurrence of the same sound and pattern. So, poetry is a meter, it's a rhythm of pattern, and it is a musical language. Poet as philosopher. Many great poets such as Plato, Bacon, Shakespeare, Dante, Milton are also profoundly philosophers, and they are the poets as well. Their work of often profound insight into human nature and working of the universe. So the moment you talk about human knowledge, universal knowledge, that becomes philosophy. And the moment you talk about the pleasing sounds for the human mind, the knowledge which you teach, but the knowledge if you teach it in a form of music, or in a form of rhythm, or in a form of poetic language, it becomes very easy for human brain to understand. That's why consistently in this whole chapter, I'm consistently talking about one thing. You remember the rhymes of children, wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round, and chanda mama dur ke पुए पकाए पूर के आप खाए थाली में मुन्ना को दे प्याली में मुन्ना गया रूठ प्याली गई टूट बजा बजा के तालियां लाएंगे नई प्यालियां. अब इसका मीनिंग मुझे नहीं पता कितना है क्या है, बट it's very musical, and children, it appeals to the senses and mind of the children. They don't understand the language, but they understand the rhythm. चंदा मामा दूर के वे पकाए पूर के आप खाए थाली में मुन्ना को दे प्याली में. So what is this प्याली for him? What is this प्याली for the child, him or her? But but that is the musical. Even the child at this age, they doesn't understand what is pyali or what is baul and what is katori, but they understand the rhythm of the sound. Pyali, thali. So difference between story and poem. So what is the difference between story and poem? A story presents a sequence of events, while a poem explores universal truth about human nature. A poem transcends specific time and place, offering timeless insights that resonate with readers across generation. Poetry as a mirror of truth. Poetry acts as mirror that reflect the eternal truth of human experience, revealing the beauty and meaning within seemingly ordinary events. So this is what you come again, repeat these bullet points, remember all these bullet points, note down them, and then it will give you lot of material for your exam and understanding as well. So I finish here. We are making this video short. Next our lecture will start from here. So all the best, do well in your exam, and God bless you. Like, share and subscribe my channel, Dr. Anju Gurawa.